My boat's flooding. The water's getting a bit warm, so I want to change that out and I'll start right back up again. And I was trying to show you that the water pump is leaking between the pump and the case. It's not got a good seal right now, so we'll work on that too, but let's get this water changed out. Okay, buckets refilled with cool water, and I snugged these down. There are 3 studs right here, 3 bolts. One on the back side there. Just snug those down, I don't know, quarter, half turn, something like that. We'll see what happens. No dripping yet. That's a good sign. No, there's a drip. Still drip. Okay, so in order to fix this, I'm going to remove it and I don't know, mess with that. It's an O-ring back there by the case here, which is where the leak is between the pump and the case. But in order to remove this, because it runs on a cam, I've got to drain the oil. So I've got this, and this hose right here will go deep down into the dipstick tube. Look at that. See how clean that is? When I had the engine in service, just 5 minutes of run time would make that black. So there really was a ton of blow-by, it seems. Anyways, I'm really happy to see that. That's excellent. Okay, so anyways, we'll stick this down here. As far as that will go. And then let's go right here. There we go. It's not pumping the right shit. There we go. Come on, baby, come on. Uh-oh. This stupid West Marine piece of crap is already breaking. That's just not right. So I've got to open that up eventually and find out what's going on with that. But, okay, well, at least this is pretty much done. To get behind here, I gotta take this plate off, so we'll get this off. I wouldn't normally use pliers here, but that black stuff I used to coat the internals of the cooling passages, that inadvertently got into, oh boy, into the threaded holes for these things, so it sucks. I was trying to clean them out, but yeah, this housing is brass, and I don't have like a clean out tool for such small threads. Anyways, these are kind of gummy. Okay. Let me get this hose off, and then I'll get in here to the 3 bolts. There's one down here, one here, and one over here. Okay. I think maybe I will just go ahead and put the other in while I'm at it. See that this that O-ring barely even reaches over the lip here. You'd think it would be a bigger O-ring, thicker. Can you see that? It barely. Can't even see it over the top there, so I'm not surprised it was leaking. I believe that was a new O-ring, but my memory being what it is, it might not be. So, anyways, we'll, yeah, maybe we'll just put the new pump in while we're at it. I was just looking at this again, and this O-ring, really all it's doing is sealing the oil inside the case. That's not a water seal. The water seal is actually internal to here. And if that thing busted, you get water in the case. I don't think we have that going on. So I wonder if it is just, I wonder if the seal on this has gone, or if I didn't get this cover on properly because of the gumminess of these little holes right here. I don't know. I'm a little perplexed now because it was not clean water that was coming out. There's a little bit of a oil residue, but it definitely seemed like it was water primarily and not anything else. Well, okay, so here's the new pump. I went and confirmed that this is actually the right O-ring for this application. It's just weird that it doesn't, well, it fits okay, but I don't know, this one actually, it shows above, oh, you can't see that. This one shows above the plane of this surface right here, just a little bit. It's not too bad. But what I'm going to do instead, well, I'm going to do that, but I am going to pull this back out. And I was turned on to this Curil T, which apparently is supposed to help with this kind of thing. And it doesn't, I've never used it. I don't know what this is going to do exactly, but the idea is that it doesn't cure, doesn't harden, stays supple, and it's supposed to be used for this kind of an application. If I could just get some out, then we would be golden. I don't know, just kind of tacky. Sorry about the glary light, I just don't have a good option here. Now I'm realizing too that my original diagnosis of the problem may not be correct anyways, because, I mean, is it a water leak? Is it this O-ring? If it's a water leak, it's not this O-ring. So I don't know. I'm just going to move forward with this and then see what happens. I mean, I guess it might be just the old pump. So this new pump may be all the difference. Okay, and that's just going to go like this. Let's open this one up. These are 7mm bolts. It's like sealed. I don't want to use that. It's interesting. It's already got like a sealant around it. Let's see if I can get the light in the right place. You're not going to be able to see it. Sorry, I can't get the light in the right place. But looking down there, I definitely see an impeller. Let me spin that to double check my crank. So we'll just turn this over, turn the engine over a little bit, and see what we see. Oh yeah. Yeah, so that has an impeller in it. Put these back on, and I guess I'm probably not, I don't know. I'll hang on to the speed dealie. I've got it. It's not too worn. Might as well. So anyways, that's that. Put these back in. I'll put that hose back on, and then we'll continue from there. My boat's flooding, and the bilge pump isn't working. Or the primary's not working. Just got back to the boat. It is, what, about 8:30 a.m. and I hear all this water rushing in the bilge. So I opened up, and sure enough, there is several inches of water in there. But then I opened up behind the engine, and I stopped it now, but it was, all this water was flooding in from the back, coming over the top of this here, and then back down into the bilge. And I didn't think my pump was working because I couldn't hear it. So I had a little bit of a skip of the heart. I didn't hear it when I got on the boat, so that was something. But it turns out that my reliance on the fact, or my belief that it wasn't probably going to rain until I got here again, was really just dumb. And so what happened, what I'm finding is that the boat's not leaking from below like I suspected initially, but that it had rained, that my bilge pump, my primary bilge pump down under the water there, is working. But of course, I don't have any freaking hoses connected. All of my hoses are disconnected. And so that pump was working and just circulating the water to the back toward the transom, not leaving the boat, and then just flowing right back down through the engine bay into the bilge again. So that probably cost me a bit of electricity usage. Not a big deal. I'm pleased to know that that bilge pump, because this is actually the third one I've had, third or fourth? It's a third bilge pump I've had in this, for the primary in this boat. So I'm glad that that's working. I gotta get those hoses on, and I've got to get that done now. I really need to use a nut driver instead, a screwdriver on these things. It's just idiotic. My pumps run directly from the batteries. There's no switch, there's just this fuse. Let's put that back in. Okay. I gotta get a bucket in here. I'll get some of this last bit out of here too. Okay, bilge is pretty much dry. There's some junk down there, but not too bad. Okay, got this cleaned up. I got everything, so now let's get in here and actually put these hoses where they need to be. Oops, I gotta clean all this mud up before I put this stuff back in. Okay, I've got to get this hose in here. It's got to go up toward the top here in a loop, come back down, and then down this way, and then right hand turn into that through hole right there. And this is where I kinked the last hose. So I'm going to put you down, and hopefully I'll come back with good news this time and not another several $100s wasted. Okay, the hose is in. Still a bit of a struggle, but not nearly as much as it had been. So that's double clamped. The clamps are facing opposite directions. Let's see. Double clamped. Clamps are facing different directions there. I'm going to cut off those long ends. And then I've got the hose looped up. Let's see. It's looped up here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'll I'll secure it to the top there so it's its highest point. And then we'll get started on these other hoses here. Whoops. All these other hoses that I gotta take care of. Okay, the mess back here is almost done. What a freaking jumble. Hopefully that'll be okay. And then back here, I'm trying to, I don't know what you can see there. Let's do this. Just, you know, it's a jumble of stuff. Hopefully that'll be okay. And I got one more hose up here. This is the fuel deck fill right there. Out of that through hull, or what do you call it there, fitting. And then the two hoses for the cockpit drains. I gotta pull one old one off and then put two new ones in. So I gotta cut that up. So not too bad. I feel pretty good. So far so good. I do have to do some more ties down below, under behind here in the engine compartment down here. But once that's all secure, then I can put the fuel tank back in. I'm not going to secure it yet. I'm going to leave it loose so that I can get into the engine and so forth, but I can situate it at least and start working on that. And then I have to put the regulator on. The engine controls will go back into place here. So, okay, let's get to these other hoses. Should I put a second one on there? All right, I'll put a second one on there. This way I don't have to worry about whether or not it's the fuel is actually going into the tank or the boat. I think it's probably overkill, but again, I don't have to worry about it. If I don't have to worry about it, that just makes my life easier. Okay, I've got the last hose off. Pretty sure it's the last hose. This is the cockpit drain, and maybe you should check them every once in a while, or I should. I don't know if you can see that. That is a partial blockage of crud that's just getting stuck in there. And that's in the hose too. There's no strainer or anything right there. I think it was still draining okay, but still. So anyways, I'll measure off a replacement for this, install that, and then we'll move to securing some of these hoses a little bit more. I believe that's what I'll do next. Most of the hoses now are done. The two cockpit drains, this big one right here, are in. That's the exhaust, the wet exhaust hose. That's the fuel fill right up there. Somewhere up there is, I can't see it. Somewhere up there is the fuel tank breather. And then way back here in the corner are new hoses. A couple things I didn't replace yet, like the water inlet hoses here. That's the cooling water inlet hoses, and the fuel hoses I haven't replaced. I have replacement, but they're really supple and nice, so I'm not too worried about that. And I didn't replace any of the bilge pump hoses. They're all they're dirty, but they're all right. So anyways, yeah, I'm worn out. I got up at 4:30 this morning. I was here at 8 a.m. After a 3-hour drive, and sunburned, as you can tell. I didn't even know. It's a bright sunny day today. Should have put sunscreen on, but I just wanted to get at it. But I got just about everything I wanted to get done today done. The hoses are done. Back here, way back there, where the just under there in that darkness right in there, it's really super dirty. So I'm going to take a sponge and clean that up a little bit before I put the fuel tank back in. Tomorrow I'll do that, and then also the regulator. I'll install the regulator, so that's ready to go, and then I think I can actually bring this engine back and reinstall that, and hope that that goes well. So that'll be nice.